Hello and welcome to this Feldenkrais Awareness Through Movement lesson. Today I'm going to share with you one of my personal favorite lessons because it perfectly demonstrates the Feldenkrais principle of how you can learn, how you can make improvements without sweating and stretching and efforting, but just fun and relax and engage your whole body and your awareness. Before you start, I'd like to make sure you have a space that is quiet and safe and calm. And you want to have some rug or yoga mat on the floor so you can have the space to lay down and stretch and have fun. And also take off your glasses if you have one. Make sure you have warm clothing and watches. Yeah, take it off. You don't want anything extra on your body, so you can just really move freely. And that's it. Let's get started. Let's start with walking around the room a little bit. Let your breathing relax. Let your mind come back to the present. And observe, how are you lifting your leg when you're walking? How heavy is it? Feel how your leg moves when you are walking. How does it fold? How does it extend? You might want to walk slightly slower than usual so you can feel, is there any difference between how heavy is your left versus the right leg? And stop walking, just standing with your legs at a comfortable distance between them. Have them straight but soft, then bend down. See how far would your hands touch on the leg without any efforting, without any straining. In fact, your goal is not to touch the feet at all, but rather your goal is to be sensitive and sense the first moment when you feel any resistance to go more. When you feel you cannot bend more, where is stopping you from doing that? Which part of your body? And yeah, that's good enough. After this one, please start sitting on the floor and have your legs straight out forward. And feel at this position, fold your body again with your hand reaching towards the leg. How far do you reach without any effort? This is not a test. You don't need to compete. Just observe. Where do you start to feel the restriction of moving? Okay, let that go. So now bend both of your knees, feet standing on the floor. Have your arms around one knee, whichever knee you like. So around meaning making a loop and having your leg inside of the loop. So your hands will be under your knee. So just one leg, not both. Choose one of the leg you want to use. For the other leg, I recommend you have the knee bent and foot stand. But just find the best way that it can support you without much effort. You can play with it a bit, have your other leg at different angle, different position, different distance, or if you want it to be a bit more straight, that's fine too. Now, gently lift the leg in your arm loop. Just a small movement and come back. Another way to think of this movement is not only lifting, but also rolling your whole body backwards. Roll on your pelvis, then come back. Keep doing this small, gentle movement. You don't have to go as far as you can, but go as far as you feel comfortable, feel at ease, feel smooth, and come back. And feel how your body is contacting the ground when you're lifting and when you're coming back. Maybe you feel more of the side that you're lifting. But what about the other leg, the other foot, the other side of your pelvis? And now add one more constraint. When you're lifting, keep the distance between your face and the knee that you're lifting. So when I say face, you can use your chin as a reference point, or thinking of the distance between your nose and the knee. So imagine there's a stick between your face and the knee, and keep the stick while you're rolling back. And relax your head and face. Don't need to be so serious. Okay, now let's change the game a little bit. Next time when you lift your knee, when you put down, put it half an inch forward, or like 1 centimeter forward, away from your body on the ground. Or maybe a 1/4 inch, like a really small distance, but then you're walking gradually forward. You can have the other foot help you to balance. The other foot, you can adjust what's the best position of it. And when you have walked enough, do the same thing walking back of that foot. Throughout this process, keep the distance between your face and the knee. And take a break whenever you need. And when you are doing this walking, how is your chest moving? What about your neck? Where are your eyes looking at? How is your spine moving? Okay, please take a break if you haven't yet. Gently come to lay on your back. You can have your knees bent or straight, whichever feels more relaxing. Feel which part of your body is in contact with the ground. Let your breathing relax. If you feel you're more relaxed now compared to a moment ago, that probably means you're using a bit too much effort. So please remember how you're feeling right now and keep this state of relaxation throughout our session today. Okay, come back to sitting in the same position with your 2 legs bent and feet on the floor. And have your arms circle around the other leg. And then do the same thing of lifting that leg a little bit and having it, not letting it drop or fall to the ground. It's a very controlled and smooth movement back to the ground. The other way to think about this is having the ground come to you when you are having your foot going back to the ground. And again, do the walking thing of lifting it up, put it down a 1/4 inch forward than before. Walk forward and back. Keep the distance between your face and your knees. Relax your face, relax your eyes. Find what's a better way to position your head in this configuration. Do you want to lower your head a bit or lift your head a bit? Which way feels easier? And then when you find that comfortable distance between your head and the knee, keep that distance throughout this lifting and putting down. And feel how these two sides are different. When you're lifting and coming back, which part is folding? How's your contact with the ground? How is the other foot or the other pelvis helping with balancing? Okay, take a break. You can rest in sitting or laying down. This is going to be a shorter break. When you're resting, feel your imprint on the ground. Which part of your body is contacting the ground? If some part is not contacting, how far is it from the ground? Relax any tension on your face, your eyes, eyebrows, your jaw. And when you're ready, come back to sitting to the same position. And this time, having each of your hand under each of your knee. So have your right hand under your right knee and left hand under your left knee. Yep. So now we're gonna do the sit walking, meaning you lift one knee, keep the distance between your face and the knee, and have it walk forward. Then go to the other knee, lift it, and have it come down, going forward. Try to make your steps smaller and smaller. It's not about walking fast. It's also about when you're in this half balance, half imbalance position of lifting one knee, can you still feel your weight is being supported by the ground, so you don't need to rush to drop to the floor. You can control precisely where you want the foot to land. And walk forward, and when you reach some distance, you don't feel like more forward, walking back. Which direction do you feel is easier for you? Or do you enjoy it more? And you can experiment with different pace. It can be super, super slow or somewhat faster. If you're moving fast, how does the other parts of your body adapt to this change of speed? How does your shoulder move? How does your head move? The other thing you can play with is, does your head turn towards the leg that you're lifting or the leg that is on the ground? Maybe try the way that you're not habitually doing and feel the difference. Okay, come to a stop and have both of your legs forward, straighten. And feel when you bend your body now, have your hands towards your feet. How far can you reach without the effort of reaching? Let me put it another way. How far can you comfortably touch your fingers on your leg without efforting? And when you feel you're reaching the limit, which part of your body is giving you this limit? Has it changed from the beginning? Okay. When you're done with this part, come laying on your back. Have a full rest. Feel the length, the size of yourself. For example, the length of your leg, the width of your pelvis, the width between your shoulder blades. How far is your head from the pelvis? When you're ready, come back to sitting. Same position. So have both of your legs bent, feet on the floor, and having one leg in your arm loop. Yeah, so the way you're connecting your two arms can be whatever way you want. You can touching the elbow or the forearm or the wrist. Or you can interlace your fingers. That's another way. Please try what feels most comfortable for you. So this time, having the leg that is in your arm lengthen on the floor forward, while the other leg staying at the same place. If you feel you need to let go of your arms loop to give it more space to lengthen more, you can do that. Doesn't need to straighten all the way. But if you can effortlessly straighten it all the way, don't hesitate to do that either. And next time when you lengthen it, also open up this leg a bit more. So when you're lengthening, the angle is a bit away from the other leg. And next time, open it up even a bit more. So you're lengthening with this changing angle, more and more away from the other leg. And to one point, the angle between the two legs might be so big that you will need to lower your body or tilt your body. If you're in a tighter space, you might need to clear the stuff on the ground, adjust your position on the ground so you have enough space. And when you are at the point that when you straighten your leg, your outer elbow is touching the floor, that's the time you can roll over your elbow to your side, then to your back. And then come back from the same trajectory. Your other foot and leg can be flexible, doing whatever is helpful for you, so you don't need to fix them at the same spot. And take a break whenever you need. When you're rolling, can you keep the distance between your face and your knee? You can roll all the way to your back. And you can experiment with the other leg. What can it do to help? Does it want to straighten, or does the foot want to stay standing on the floor? The idea is want to make this movement more fluid. You don't need to use any momentum or use some effort from your core to get back up, but rather the other leg is counterbalancing this whole time, so you can get up with as little effort as possible. And take a rest. In Feldenkrais, we don't move all the time. Sometimes we play with imagination. So when you're laying on your back, you can imagine if you do the same thing with the other side of your leg. Can you have the mental image of doing that? Of this leg sliding of different direction, coming back, sliding to the very side, and you roll over your elbow towards your back and come back. Can you include both legs, both feet, in your mental image when you're imagining that? And when you're ready, come back to sitting and actually do it. So have your arms circle around under the other knee. Keep the distance between your face and the knee. Relax your face. Feel the contact with the ground. And when you are rolling down, can you feel there's less momentum? The whole process is reversible. So to do that, you might want to do it slightly slower and having the other leg counterbalance the whole time. Maybe it's a bit abstract to think about counterbalance. Just explore what you can do with the other leg to make the whole thing easier, more elegant. So when you are rolling down, you don't feel you are falling into the ground. And when you're getting up, you can keep your breathing relaxed and smooth. Wonderful. And when you're ready, come back to sitting, and we're gonna do our last little game. And this is the part where you need a lot of space on the ground, because we're gonna have a lot of fun. So have each hand under your each knee. Have both legs open and straighten, and then do the rolling towards whichever side you like. Once you're on your back, continue rolling towards the other side and come up. So make sure you don't kick anything in your space. It's totally safe, then you can explore with no worries. Yeah, if it's not enough room, you can do it rolling down, then back towards the same direction up, then roll down on the other side. If you find one side is much easier than the other side, you can start with that. Keep doing that. Just keep this relaxed, smooth quality of this movement. Have your face relaxed, your breathing relaxed. It's an enjoyable process. You might have your leg bent a bit, or you can try how much do you want to bend your leg, so this whole rolling is easier. If you have some pet at home, they might get excited seeing you doing this weird thing. And then switch direction. In different direction, how's your experience? Which feels smoother, easier? Which side feels more enjoyable to you, more fun to you? And rest whenever you need. Okay, if you haven't, please just take a rest. Feel your contact with the ground. Feel your breathing. Feel the wave coming with breathing in and out. And when you're ready, come back to sitting with your two legs straight forward. So back to our reference movement at the beginning. Two legs straight forward, then bend your body, bend your upper body. Have your hand reach forward. See how far you can touch effortlessly now. And when you're ready, come back to standing. But keep the relaxed breathing when you're transitioning from sitting to standing. Feel how you're standing on the ground. Which part of your feet feels the ground? And then bend down. See how far you can touch effortlessly now in this configuration. And then relax, walk around. See if the feeling of walking changes. How heavy are your legs now? Where's your head when you're walking? How do you lift your leg when you're walking? How do you put it down? And that's the class of today. Thank you so much. So I'd like to share some of my ideas and thought process for this lesson. First of all, credit to Jeff Holler who taught us this lesson in my Feldenkrais Teacher Training. And for one thing, I noticed as I practice more and more of this lesson, what I've been doing differently is I'm really paying attention to what's happening when I'm moving, and I'm really trying to ease any tension in my body. I'm scanning while I'm doing the movement to see where can I do differently. So for example, when I'm sitting here lifting the leg, I feel there's some tension on my lower back. So what I've been doing was to adjust how I sit on the ground, adjust which part of the pelvis can support me, and also adjust the length of my upper body. Like think of lengthening my spine, so I've had them all collapse here and having a lot of pressure on my lower back. Another thing I find is I've been more and more clear about how to move with reversibility, how to move without the kind of more explosive power. So this is especially relevant for the rolling part. When we're coming up like this is the using the muscle to explosively get up, engaging the core. That might be good core exercise, but that's not the point, because when we're just engaging one part of the body, we're not really using the whole body awareness to help with the movement. So what I would do is, when I sense I'm tightening my core to effort to get through that rolling part, I would try a few different things. First of all, relax my breathing and try like a different trajectory, different angles how I get up. So I can get up like this, or I can get up with a bigger curve. And also paying attention to the other leg, so I can have the other leg more straight, more bent, closer to this leg, or have it further away from the other leg, and see the difference. One last point, for this lesson there's the reference movement of bend over your body and see how far can you reach without effort. This is the part I really feel the difference of this lesson, and many students have taught, they've reported they feel much more ease to do that. And here I just want to comment on my personal experience of when I bent down before and after. What changed was, before I really feel the tightness behind my knees, and that's usually how I thought about this exercise of bending down. I thought it's just lengthening this part. But after the lesson, I feel the tightness is more here, around my ankle. I don't know why that happens. I don't know why this is not my difficulty anymore. I think it's probably because throughout this process that we're paying attention to the whole body, and this idea of keeping the head with the same distance from the knees, and really engaging the whole body, doing whatever movements we're doing, that my body is more used to doing this bend over thing, and it's using different parts of my body to make it easier. It's still kind of a puzzle for me, like why would you design a lesson like this, why these movements are really effective. So that's where I am now. So please leave your comments about your experience. What did you feel? How did you feel the change? And if you are more senior, experienced Feldenkrais practitioner, or just you're more familiar with your body, tell me, why did you feel there is this change happening? And also, how did that impact your life after the lesson? So thanks for coming, and see you next time.